ask the Senator first. Anong recollection nyo and anong comparison ninyo quickly in this first part nung panahon ni Marcos at today?
Alam mo ka, Mentong, di kaila sa iyo na I was in the opposition during the time of President Marcos. And without being personal to him, I opposed most of the issues he had, most of the policies that he had. But, you know, after his ouster, I told myself that it's very easy to demonize a person. But if you cannot glorify a person, do not just demonize him for personal aggrandizement. For example, nabanggit ko, Kamentong, na ako'y nasa oposisyon noong mga panahon na yon. Nang balaki ni Marcos na magkaroon ng combat team to be sent to tapos na Korea, na ipadadala sa Vietnam, I stood in the floor and hit away at the truth that we should not involve our country in a war that is not ours. At sa maraming mga miyembro ng Kamara, ito lang ang kumontra doon sa combat team na ipadadala sa Vietnam to go to war side by side with our brother Americans. If you know what I mean.
Brother Americans.
that's what they always say.
Just kidding.
But anyway, I got a call from no less than the president and told me that because of your opposition, we are going to just send a civic action group. Kaya yung combat team ay naging PhilCAG. Ewan ko lang kung naalala pa.
Philippine Civil Action ba?
Philippine Civil Action Group.
PhilCAG.
Na pinadala sa Vietnam.
Alam mo ba yun, James? Ay, Richard? Hindi pa. So matuto tayo kay Senator Velarde.
Noon kasing giyera sa Vietnam, nakipaglaban tayo sa kaaway ng Amerika. Maski hindi naman talaga natin kaaway.
Pero, Senator, we should note there, with your input, Marcos having to play diplomatic politics with the United States, which is still the power in the region then and even to a great extent today. He balanced it with your help. Instead of a combat team, he found an excuse to tell the Americans, look, hanggang civic action group lang kami. Which was good, which earned goodwill for the Philippines. And for you.
That's correct. Kamentong, alam po ninyo, yun si Marcos sinasabi na kung anong gusto niya, siya masusunod. He was very legalistic. At siya po ay nakikinig sa mga tao niya. Kaya
at sa oposisyon, tulad sa yung PhilCAG nga.
Yung mga pinili niya mga tao nung araw, hanggang ngayon ay naglilingkod pa. Sapagkat yung mga pinili niyang tao ay may mga matinong pag-iisip. Now, sa peace and order, during his time, and during this time, ang peace and order natin ngayon ay grabe ang nangyayari. Kung ikukumpara natin yan sa peace and order nung araw, ang peace and order nung araw talagang meron tayong katahimikan. Maybe because of martial law, but we have existing laws that punish crime. And yet, the executive department cannot seem to execute existing laws.
Pero ang sabi naman nung iba na nakulong o may mga kapatid kamag-anak na nasawi sa labanan ng gobyerno, militar at yung mga dissenting forces and so on, pasista daw, malupit. What is your reaction to that? And we'll ask our young member here.
I'm not just about to defend Marcos on that score, but I'll tell you that he as I said, he was very legalistic. Meron siyang dahilan kung bakit niya lalabanan. Katulad ng paglaban niya sa mga ideologues. Yung nagbomba sa amin sa Plaza Miranda.
Sa amin, kasama ka doon. Paalala lang natin.
Yeah.
You still have a sharpnel sa
may bakal pa ako, kaya iika-ika ako ngayon karami. But that's almost 50 years ago, no? Nung tanungin niya ako kung sino daw ang nagpabomba sa amin, karamihan sa mga liberal party, sinabi niya si Marcos. Nung pagdating sa akin, sabi ko, I don't think Marcos is stupid . Because that was a very stupid thing to do.
For
To
Marcos,
bang-
kung si Marcos.
Yeah.
Kasi it would backlash against him,
That's
di ba?
right. Kaya ako hindi si Marcos ang nagpabomba.
Just to remind the audience, you were with the Liberal Party. The Plaza Miranda rally was the Liberal Party rally. Marcos was with the Nacionalista Party. The Liberals were trying to put up a new candidate against against Marcos. And who were the alternatives? Ninoy, Jerry Rojas.
Jerry Rojas. Silang
Salonga.
dalawa. Yung dalawa.
Oo, yung dalawa mainly, no?
Si Salonga medyo tapos na.
Tapos na.
And
doon sa rally, nandun si Jerry, tinamaan din si Jerry. Si
Lahat kami nagkasugat.
Ninoy Aquino,
Wala.
hindi dumating.
Wala siya doon.
Kaya it raises a lot of questions. Let's go to Richard. Richard, what's your reaction to the discussion? And of course, your group now, Anak Bayan, would call Marcos a fascist, and so on. Although you were not always against Marcos. I know your history. You had favorable views, then you had transition, and you were recruited to those who are anti-Marcos and would call Marcos a fascist today. So what caused your transition, and what is your state of mind about these issues now?
Well, sa akin, yung noon, di ba, hindi man ako yung, tawag dito, yung anti, hardcore na anti. Kasi, mostly, mga binabasa ko noon, mga resources sa internet, ganyan. Tapos, tsaka lang nung na-recruit last year, no, na through mga pag-aaral, mga study groups, ayun, may basehan naman din kung bakit tinutulig sa si Marcos. Not necessarily dahil sa pagkatao mismo, no? Pero dahil sa mga yung mga nangyari noon. Maliban na lang yung mga nabanggit kanina, no? Mga katulad noon, yung siguro kung sa bagay nga yung halimbawa na lang sa peace and order, yung may naitala halos 4,000 murders, pero kung ilalatag mo sa isang time frame, konti pa rin siya kumpara sa mga sumunod sa kanya.
Okay. So, well, there are many aspects. We have part 2 which will be longer and will dwell more on the other issues. But there is one aspect that we are today saddled with, one problem, one crisis, energy crisis, electricity. And one of the crown jewels of the Marcos administration in terms of energy development was the Bataan Nuclear Power Plant, which was eventually cancelled. I prepared an audio of Marcos's last conversation, I think, with Cory Aquino by phone. Si Marcos nasa Makiki Heights na sa Hawaii, pero tumawag pa siya to make one appeal. So let's listen to this appeal. I was trying to look for a version na walang music, no? Pero I just got this from the YouTube, so may counting music, but the important thing is yung message ni Marcos. So let's make sure the audio is loud enough, no, para maintindihan ng audience natin. So let's roll that.
Bilinin ko kay Mrs. Corazon Aquino kaya pagpatuloy ang Bataan Nuclear Plant kung maaari. Sapagkat I told her this is the solution in meeting a country's energy demands and decreasing dependence on imported oil. Ngunit ayaw niyang tanggapin ang aking mungkahi at maalala daw ng taong bayan si Marcos habang andyan ang Bataan Nuclear Plant. Anong klaseng pag-iisip yan? Ayan ay paghihiganti, huwag natin idamay sambay ng Pilipino. Kanya balang araw, makikita ninyo, 20 years from now, baksak na ang Pilipinas.
Pero anong reaction niyo doon?
Alam po ninyo, marami akong natatanggap na messages sa akin at sulat sa aking kahapon lamang every Saturday and Sunday.
Anong station niya?
DCBB every Saturday and Sunday
What
at
time?
1:30. Marami akong natatanggap na mungkahi na kung pwede daw buksan ang Bataan Nuclear Plant. Wala akong masagot sapagkat alam kong maraming ayaw diyan at saka ang kasalukuyang administrasyon alam kong ayaw diyan. So wala akong masagot diyan. Pero kung ako tatanungin ninyo, ang nuclear plant ay kailangan na kailangan
Okay.
Sapagkat kailan mauubos ang langis natin sa ilalim ng lupa, hindi natin alam.
Okay.
Pag nakikinabangan ng langis natin, ibang bansa ang nakikinabang ngayon.
Maraming issues, technological and so on sa nuclear power, but I think the real issue there is yung paghahanda sa power needs ng bansa, di ba?